Bang, 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 bang. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Phil's Recap and Review. This is for Daredevil, Season 3, Episode 2, Please. And we're back again for another quick 20-minute podcast. And Joe, it's interesting to talk about Daredevil in one of these shows this way, episode after episode. I definitely like this episode more. It amped up the action.
Yep.
Action a little bit, like with what happened to Wilson Fisk at the end. Daredevil starting to put the pieces back together. I love how this episode
He's still not giving himself time to heal, though.
No, which is gonna fuck him big time when Fisk starts hitting the ground big time.
Fuck, dude, that dude is strong. He had 450 pounds on that fucking bench and a body, and he threw it. And he threw the body.
He didn't give a fuck. But I like how
with a hole in his belly.
But I like
from it was on his chest. He threw the man.
And this was
flipped him, dude. Come on.
This in a lot of ways was another one of his episodes. This centered a lot around him getting out of prison and the parallels between him getting himself back into crime boss shape.
He didn't get himself out of prison.
Or got himself into a halfway house kind of program, whatever it is he's being moved into.
Who got him out of prison? How did he get out of prison? Who broke him? So the Albanians tried to get him out, and then mysterious FBI agent shows.
Okay, the actual Bullseye shows up
and is like, "Don't move." So does he retake him into custody?
Yeah, it takes him to custody. Isn't he going? From what I was following, didn't they agree to put him into some sort of halfway house, sort of out of prison, protective custody from the FBI agent that's passed out in the car? So they were moving him to a special location. So I assume he's just going to go to the special location, and what he's going to start realizing is he's going to build his own gang from FBI agents and military personnel that are disillusioned with the system, and that's what's going to build his new army. And they're going to all be this formidable hit squad that's going to go out there and Daredevil.
Oh, goodness, I'm not even. You're so. I'm just still like. You already have a whole story.
Oh, I get a whole thing that Daredevil is going to approach the situation
Jesus
too early, and then gonna get his ass kicked.
I'm there with you. I'm there with you because he's not giving himself time to heal. He's got a little bit of a death wish. So I'm really excited for our next episode, dude.
Oh, me too. Especially with the way this episode ended, I can't believe we have to take a break now. Joe's like, "Fuck you, you asshole. We will watch another one." Well, we may allow each other a single episode cheat before the next podcast.
Nope.
Okay, fine. Good. I like denying myself stuff. It makes me feel good.
And you said something about Monday morning, so I think we should go Monday morning.
Okay. I mean, it'll be after The Walking Dead, so I'll be a little Walking Dead hungover. So
I have to work that night, so
I know I got David coming on that night, but I'll be up the next morning. Whenever I wake up the next morning, we'll get into this because I'll need some good television after whatever happens on Sunday. So
I'll make sure I wake Katie up early.
Cool. So. Yeah, she's giving it like fuck Phil and fuck this whole television thing.
I don't think she heard me. So
okay, well, don't.
I'll surprise her. I'll surprise
her later.
Okay, 8 a.m. to watch more.
So let's break it down this episode a little bit more because I took slightly better notes. So we cross from Matt to Wilson as the episode starts, and that sets up the whole parallel that was all through season 1. We missed it in season 2. They tried to set something similar up with Frank and Daredevil, but it's a different sort of dynamic. It doesn't work as well. As much as I love Frank and I love Punisher, I think Punisher fits right in, and I think season 2 of Daredevil is underrated, especially with the Punisher arc at the first half of it. It's so good, like at the first when you get Matt versus Punisher. I think they're different sides of a different coin, but it's more this whole series, the whole Daredevil series is about Wilson and Matt, and seeing that get set up right from the beginning of this episode was really cool, and seeing them all get their shits back together for the most part. Fisk gets attacked, and when the guy kills, he's so rage-filled. But he's smart enough not to kill the guy. He wants to kill him in that moment, but he knows that.
Yeah, I'll never see her again. I'm already never seeing her again, but if I do this, I'm never seeing her again.
Yep, never, ever.
See, that's the thing about Kingpin. He's rage-filled, but he's also extremely logical, extremely intelligent, and he is able to take those moments and weigh, is this going to be good for me in the long run, and proceed accordingly.
Joe, you're 100% right. And I think that's one of those weird parallels. If we're talking about the parallels between Matt and Wilson, Matt's not any of those things.
Correct.
Matt is
Impulsive,
headstrong,
right.
Impulsive. He's everything, but he's our good guy. And clearly it's not like Wilson's a good guy and I feel for him. But clearly, this is what makes Daredevil so interesting. Or one of the things is that we're in this environment where our hero is this impulsive, headstrong, womanizing person that jumps from girl to girl, is a serial flirt, a serial getting fuck people's lives. Wilson is severely loyal to one woman, is very carefully thinking, cold calculating, but he's the most horrible person in the fucking Marvel universe. He's like him and Dr. Doom are hanging out. You know?
He's like one of the most powerful people like in the Marvel universe.
Yep.
Believe it or not. Like as far as characters go, like dude, he's a pretty big like his strength alone, like they have not really shown us what his strength becomes. Like
they showed a little bit in season 1 of Daredevil in that first fight when Matt and him got into that very first fight, and he just kind of fucked Matt up pretty easily. But I agree. Like they're keeping it relatively to reality, which I like. But even within that, Vincent D'Onofrio, how he plays it, they try
to fit Daredevil into the Marvel universe, but largely Daredevil is contained in its own universe in the books, right? It's not necessarily on this super huge scale. It is, but it's
set in Hell's Kitchen. I mean, it's more focused in that Hell's Kitchen universe.
So it's got a little bit more of a real centered base than something like the Hulk or Thanos, or right. But on the same vein, this guy is very much on a level with the Hulk's power.
Or the Thing, or any of those things. Right. Like he has that kind, and he has the brains,
and he has and then he's on top of it. He's got like Doctor Strange brains and shit.
It's crazy.
It's not like with the psi powers, but like brains. He's got He's got a good head in there.
He gets some good head in there. So we also get set up even more so in this season than season 2, and back to kind of that season 1 thing. That's a big part of Daredevil, and I don't mind it because it's from Page or Daredevil. So it's not too heavy. It's heavy-handed, but that's in the very nature of Daredevil, is to have the religious aspects be somewhat heavy-handed. That's in the Page of the books. That's Matt is that kind. He's a very religious person, and that's a big dynamic of who Matt is. And I love his fuck God kind of attitude this season. And
that's how he's always stayed grounded.
How he's always stayed grounded, exactly. And I love that they make that part of this Daredevil story. I feel like in season 3, even though we've got 2.5 seasons, if you count the Defenders, which served as a half a season of Daredevil stuff, which the good parts of that were the Daredevil stuff. This is the most Daredevil Matt seems. I love that part we got in this episode.
It's almost reboot. It's almost reboot. He hasn't put on his suit yet.
No,
he's using the same outfit he used in season 1, right? So it's very much what you're saying there. It's a return to it. You know,
And I love how we got that moment where the priest said something to him along the lines of, maybe God wants you to quit. And he says, no, fuck that. Stop that shit. We're not playing this stupid game. God, I am Daredevil, and I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
And he keeps telling them that too.
Yep. And I like that this isn't a hanging point where he's going to have to figure out, is he a Daredevil or is he not? It's season 3 hits the ground running from beginning to end. He will know he's Daredevil. I don't think we'll ever have that point this season where he has that cliche superhero moment of, Rocky, do you want to fight the fight, Rocky? I can't fight. We're not going to have that moment. It's the opposite. Matt needs to take a break. You know, Matt, please take a break because we want to see full Daredevil before the end of the season. We don't want to see you get put into a coma for 2 or 3 episodes midway through the season. So we got a lot more of the flashbacks of Matt as a kid as well. I actually do too. I was that's a little part of my note. Ask Joe if he likes the flashbacks. I like this kid actor.
I like the kid flashbacks.
Yes.
Ask me if I like fucking any flashback scene with fucking
Karen.
Fry face in it. Yeah, Karen.
Oh, there was a whole section of this episode. I don't want to start hating too much till we get there, but we're running out of time already. But there's a whole section of this episode with Foggy and Karen that I couldn't tell you what happened. I just zoned out of it.
Oh God. Okay, so every time she gets on screen, she's got one track to her. It's I'm super journalist, I'm begging, whining, or crying.
Or I'm intrusive. And with Foggy.
Right, or right. It makes it's hard for me to watch. She's not a bad actress.
Oh no, I think she's an awesome actress. I think the character is just written annoying, and so
fucking annoying.
So annoying, and she plays it to perfection. She plays that annoying character to perfection. Same with Foggy. I don't think the problem with Foggy is that the actor sucks. I think the character is written to be a doof, to be a gigantic doof suppressed emotions. Because he's really Fulton Reed, the former hockey player of the Mighty Ducks that had that 6 slap shot and thought he was going to become a pro, but really lost out in the long run. So I understand his frustration that he became a lawyer eventually, and he has his Mighty Duck dreams, and he's afraid he let Gordon Bombay down, and Hans too. So I get where Foggy's coming from, but it still makes him less annoying. Let's take our roles this season, Joe. You can be, because I agree with everything you said. You can be our official hate on Karen. I'll be hate on Foggy because they're
see. I'm good with that because I'm not so upset with Foggy. I was never a huge, what did you say, Mighty Ducks or
Mighty Ducks
people?
Yeah. Okay. No, Mighty Ducks. He was Fulton Reed.
Right, yeah. So I was never a big. I saw that movie once, maybe twice. Yeah, any Estevez Sheen production is amazing. Right?
Hey, we will quack you, Joe. We don't have time here. We can put enough quick Mighty Duck review here. But no, yeah. I hear you. You like Foggy more than I do.
I do. I don't super I'm still waiting for some reason I just always keep thinking Foggy's going to turn into this super villain or like.
No, I mean I hear what you're saying. Foggy to me, for whatever reason, I was just doing that. I was not doing magic. I was trying to get the focus going. Foggy, for whatever reason, reminds me of like a CW character where he's always verbalizing what's going on in the scene. Hello, right. Karen, I don't think Matt is. Are we talking about our favorite best friend Matt again, or these like
outrageously to sum it all up for you?
Yeah, and it's a little like I understand. Again, it's his character. I think he plays the character well. I have no real problem with the actor, and I generally like him in Matt's scenes. I just don't care too much of the further adventures of Foggy.
So far, he's been useless. The character has been useless so far in the story.
He took up Kingpin time for me in this past episode.
And Karen too. What is she investigating? She's investigating a respiratory illness thing, and she ends up in the hospital bed of a guy for the Black Mask because she's also investigating that, and she hasn't gone to do the story that she was told to by her boss.
Right. She's breaking the rules, doesn't give a fuck. So let's jump into the live chat for a second here.
What's she doing?
Who's this sexy?
What's Lois doing? What's the Jessica Jones chick name? What's she?
Oh, hey! I want your KK. What is? I want you. Hey.
I don't know. I don't know what we're doing here.
Cray. Hey! I want your
cray.
There we go. I found it, Joe. I was saying.
Hey, I want your cray.
I want your cray. I want your cray. Okay. So speaking of that, Bernie says, "Who's this sexy porn extra?" Oh, that's just Joe with his sexy porn stash. Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hey there.
Giving Bernie some love.
I don't mean to be gay or nothing, but
you can, yeah. I kind
long
of
hair is sexy, Phil.
I kind of want to love you. But see Orgasmo if anyone hasn't ever.
Yeah, if you don't know what that is.
Yeah, if you're people, what are you talking about, Joe? Let's go in the chat for a second. Broke says he is vigilant, holding on to something he no longer has, major identity crisis. Not sure where he's going. Hey, Bernie. To Broke, so enthusiastic, makes watching a live show. Enjoy the motherfucking chats and talking. Later, great to see you, Echo. Can't wait to see how Matt continues in season 3. In season 2, he had a purpose. He was fighting for his morals, whether or not to be what Elektra wanted him to be. What he kind of.
That's when he decided, I'm the Daredevil. That's me.
Oh, Bernie got your reference. She says she loves that movie. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the band. He says I don't want to sound like a queer or nothing, but I think
I don't want to sound queer or nothing, but you want to have sex with me?
Yeah, but you want to have sex with me? Great movie. Again, the Orgasmo Raider. Ron Jeremy stars in that fun, underrated movie, Orgasmo, that has nothing to do with Daredevil, but you should watch it.
Jesus.
So anything else to talk about this episode? I mean, we can zip through it. The FBI guy kind of pushes for Wilson Fisk to get out. You think he's going to live to regret this?
Isn't he already dead in the front seat?
I don't know if he's dead.
Your bullseye pick is gone, Phil. Next episode, gone.
Yeah, how stupid do I look?
He was the catalyst to meet him, though. I got the call on that.
Yeah. I love seeing how stupid I am. Okay. I like young Matt, Karen talking about respiratory problems and give a shit less. FBI and Fisk is seeing when he got attacked. He's their snitch, and they basically they do talk the police out of Fisk getting released by the FBI guy saying, yeah, Fisk is a fucking piece of shit. Of course he is. And you can't stop me from being Daredevil, bitches, because not even God can stop me. Karen in the hospital, digging into people's shit. We meet that other girl whose father Matt saved, and Matt meets her too and tells her that her father's father needs to get out of town or something. I forget exactly what he says to her. He goes to see the woman he saved, and he talks to her, and she thanks him and says, God didn't do this. I did. Fisk will not pass go or collect $200. I love the speech that the Fed gives Fisk. Now, you will report to me. You will piss when I want. You will not collect go. You will not pass go and collect $200. He gives this awesome speech about loving Vanessa, which leads into the explosion in the car.
That is an awesome speech. That is a fantastic speech.
Really, dude.
Loved it.
Dude, it was right up there if we're making Wilson Fisk's best moments in these series, right with the speech in Daredevil season 2 in prison that he gives Matt Murdock. Like when he gets into it, Vincent D'Onofrio, this is when he owns this part.
See, just like you know that was him cuffed to the roof of that fucking van, pushing on the cuffs. That yep. I can't see that. I don't see that as being a stunt double or I didn't watch it again. I got to watch a rewatch and get a better look to see how much they're hiding his face in that. But like, even still, just as the character Kingpin, like you're talking 350, 400 pounds hanging off of that fucking ceiling, and he's leg pressing, and he's fucking pulling with his fucking whole upper body on that chain. That was freaking fantastic coming right after that speech, because the speech was powerful. It was a powerful speech of love interrupted by a violent freaking explosion. And then he just
bam. And it makes me so fucking excited. Whoa.
But you see his vulnerability too, right?
Yep.
See his vulnerability in all of that. In the speech, in the prison talk, and with all the bullets flying. He knows that he can be killed right there, that it could be all over.
And I love how I love the action and how it quickly amps up. It gives you this foreplay for what this season's going to end up fucking you with. And I can't wait for more. Ultimately, that all leads up to Wilson getting saved at the last minute by our bullseye, or at least a very good crack shot. I'm not going to make the mistake this time, but I'm pretty sure that's who that's going to be.
Dude, I got to say again, I love that Vincent D'Onofrio in that truck, rolling around in there like a rat in a fucking can in a fire.
Dude, the looks on his face in that scene as he's realizing, dude, all that non-verbal communication.
Like, fuck, these are the Albanians. They're gonna kill me.
Yep. We didn't need to hear any of it. We're coming off a season of Better Call Saul where we compliment that show the hell, and that's what it made me think of, that kind of storytelling where we're just not telling things, and that's what I don't like about Foggy, where I think he stands out in this universe. I think he's sort of too much
narrative, right?
And I'm like, no. You tell us so much, whether it's Matt, especially with Matt and Wilson. They just tell us so much without actually having to do anything. And then on top of it all, you mentioned it here as we need to wrap things up. They end things off with such crazy action to show you, remember the first 2 seasons of Daredevil where we just killed it with action? That's coming. Don't you fucking worry. That's fucking coming. You know as well as I do, Joe. Excuse me. I don't know spoilers of this season. I don't know anything other than people hearing rumblings that people saying it was good.
Right, same here.
I know for a fact that this is gonna get heavy real quick. I mean, with action, you can just feel it. You can smell it in the air. It's good. It just feels like it's coming. Like it's coming. Strong.
It's making me want to. It's doing a good. Netflix does a good job with this too, and it's making me want to watch the next episode as soon as it finishes.
Right. It's tough to cancel it because now it automatically when it automatically jumps in
15 seconds,
15 seconds,
14, 13.
It's like, oh no,
rolling in a small little box. You don't even notice it.
We have to do a podcast. Shit. And then the episode ends with Matt hearing that Wilson's out of jail and leading into our 3rd episode, which really has me excited going into this 3rd episode. Joe, I think this is a good place to wrap things up. Let's go. I'm hungry now, too. Bernie, I love Kingpin as well. Great movie, too. Oh, Kingpin's great. Anyways, everybody, we'll be back on Monday at some point. I'm pretty sure Monday, unless I get called into work randomly or something. But Monday, we'll be on for at least another 3 or 4 episodes, maybe more, depending on the time period. And we hope you guys enjoy these little 20-minute podcasts. We'll keep them up on the channel till the whole thing's off, and then I'm going to probably take them all down and edit something together with all of them into one big review. I know that. I'm like, but the lazy part of me is like, are you really going to do that? I'm going to try to do that. Well, I'll try to do that. I think that would be a good thought. And as we mentioned before, we're going to be doing one of these after every episode. And then when we get to the season finale episode, we're going to do a longer podcast talking about the whole season, where we kind of try to wrap things up. Basically, these ones are more our quick, immediate thoughts, and we'll kind of do our whole thoughts on the overall season at the end. And yeah, this is an experiment. We might not always do this for Netflix shows, but we've been wanting to do something like this after every episode. Instead, in Jessica Jones, we did 3-episode blocks. Thought about doing this again, but Joe's like, nope, every episode. We've been talking about this for too long. Time to fucking do it.
It makes more sense because when we do a longer podcast in a 3-episode block sequence, there's so much little detail that I really forget. I know we're only doing 20-minute podcasts. We're not doing full-hour podcasts, right? So there's still a lot that we kind of gloss over, but everything is still much fresher in my mind.
Right.
So.
Me too. And if we were doing a whole season, we might have missed talking about Wilson Fisk's speech in the back of that truck because there might be 10 other amazing Wilson Fisk speeches by the end of the season. So it's good to be able to examine this or talk about something I didn't mention in this episode, that how much I like the dynamic between the nun and Matt again in this episode. Is she's his Claire this season, and I like it. And it's a woman in his life that he has no chance of sexual connection with, and it pisses him off too.
That isn't going anywhere, right?
Isn't going anywhere. There's no
getting scared away. That
exactly. So Joe, we'll be back on Monday, and I will be back on Sunday evening to talk about The Walking Dead. I'll talk to you.
So basically,
go fuck yourself, Joe. I'll see you on Monday morning.
I'm still gonna watch it too. So.
Eat some ass. We're gonna do a What Did Joe Think next week.
So. And that's true. So I don't have to watch it Sunday night because I gotta work, and we're gonna do this on Monday morning.
Right. You don't have to watch it till say like Thursday or something when we do a What Did Joe Think or whatever it is. What did Joe think? What did Joe think? What did Joe think?
But some shit might go down, yo. Only 2 Grimes episodes left, yo. Some shit might go down. I might miss that. What happens then? Then I only got 1 Grimes left.
Only 1 Grimes left. Hashtag only 1 Grimes left for this podcast, everyone. Talk to you guys next time. Make sure you subscribe and like. Talk to you soon. Peace.